Hey Eurovision fans, Besa will represent Albania with the song Zemrën. We're going to listen and react to the live performance from Festival Këngës, have a look at Albania's results over the last 10 years, discuss their potential strategy, and then talk about how this could do in Malmö. So let's kiki. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tom. I'm an Irish Eurovision analyst, and you can find all of this stuff on my Eurovision channel. So the final of Festival Këngës happened a couple of nights ago. Very shocking and surprising results. In case you watched it, the winner of the jury was Muscle Mal, who I think absolutely nobody was expecting. I've never seen such a WTF winner moment ever. So he won the Festival Këngës jury vote, but the televote winner was Besa with her song Zemrën. And Albania have this rule that the winner of the televote is the person who goes to represent them in Eurovision. So she will be representing them this year. The song, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing wrong, is Zemrën, which means heart in hand. Sounds like an upbeat bop. Okay, so we're going to be checking the performance from the final. I watched the semi-final and final, so this is my third time listening to the song, so I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on the performance aspects. This is Zemrën, one of my secret band. So I watched all of Festival Këngës. It was long. They had these AI LEDs this year. She's got a very lovely voice. Now, this outfit I'm not mad at. I actually preferred her semi-final outfit. This outfit's kind of like sexy Statue of Liberty lingerie. I don't like it as much. Obviously a very pretty woman. As a song, it's a fine starting, not massively grabbing, it sounds quite standard. I think the melody in the chorus is pretty nice. There is this concept now, people are thinking that ballads are going to have a harder time to qualify from semis. So I'm looking what can they do to make this like really dynamic. This bit's nice. I wonder if they can do something visually with this. Could it be the standout moment? And I wonder if she's going to be on her own on the stage. Yeah, it's a solid song, like I like it, and she's a good singer. Oh, she's already thanking people. Giving it, doing a little bit of a switch up here. This is almost a little bit rappy. And some kind of like different production coming in the background as well, a bit more electronic. Okay. I forgot she did a little bit of a breakdown here. I think it's necessary. I think if it was just pure ballad the whole way through, it would be too much. This does give it like a bit more layers, feels a bit more variety. That outfit, this is the bit when she falls. Semi-final shouldn't fall. I liked her outfit more as well. Okay, powerful voice, we expect that from Albania. It's pretty much every single year. It's still strong though. Yeah, it's got power to it. It's got a melody. This isn't like a total throwaway ballad. It's not got nothing to work with. It has got a pretty okay enough melody. Again, this is a nice bit. And with that, other voices come in the background as well. I think they need movement on the stage now. I think she needs to have people coming in towards her. They'll do lots of changes on this. Albania always do quite a large revamp. Yeah, and quite a climactic ending as well. So a lot of passion, a lot of energy, a lot of fierceness towards the end of the song. Okay, so let's first talk about the artist. So once again, we have a female artist for Albania. This is our 10th female artist out of the last 11. Obviously last year we had Albina with Famke Kelmende, but Albina was the main focus. So if we just take the main singer, 10 of the last 11 years have been a female. So this is a little bit repetitive for Albania. It seems to be their go-to, this very strong, powerful woman singing, which is cool. I obviously really like that. You know, Italy has the opposite problem. They can't send a woman. It feels a little bit samey from that aspect. She's obviously very pretty. She's got a very powerful voice. She seems confident on stage. I think she's got good charisma. I think she's that level of very high quality female artist that we kind of expect from Albania at this point. And then the song is yet again another power female ballad. Again, this is Albania's bread and butter strategy that they seem to resort to most years. So a little disappointed that after what happened last year with Tattoo winning and Cha 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 coming second, and then having all these really like dynamic, incredible new songs, that Albania's response to that is just to send the same thing again. So it does seem quite one note in what they're doing, and I wonder what's happening behind the scenes with the delegation. Do they have any control over what happens in Festival of Kungas? Or do they just get given a female power ballad every single year and then they have to do something with it? So again, I need to emphasize, I have no problem with female power ballads, but when it's every single year, it's not just Albania. People complain about Switzerland sending male ballads every single year. There was a period when Sweden sent only male artists for a long period. People complain about that. Italy as well. It's not that I or anyone else is just picking on Albania. It's a trend of just sending the same thing over and over again. Now, is the average viewer going to know or care about that? No. They're not going to remember who represented Albania a year or 2 years ago. I really just don't think they'll notice that pattern. So does it really matter? No. But for me, as someone who's really rooting for Albania, I want them to get into the top 5. I want them to get into the top 10. I want them to be on the left side of the scoreboard and eventually develop a strategy to win. This package for me does not imply any kind of forward thinking or upward trajectory whatsoever. It's a power ballad from a beautiful woman with a powerful voice. Sasha Jean-Baptiste is going to come in. She's going to do red and black staging. Maybe there'll be an eagle at some point. It's just like the same thing we've seen 9 out of the last 11 years. From that aspect, I'm a little bit disappointed because I want to see Albania evolve and develop and progress in some capacity, and this isn't progression for me at all, despite the fact that it's a decent song. Like, I think I will probably download this. I'm more likely to wait for the revamp. Albania pretty much always do a revamp of their song. So we can actually see here there's a trend since 2018 where the song tends to be kept in Albanian. Obviously 2020 the song was translated into English, but that contest didn't happen. But since 2018, all in Albanian, and they've got an 80% qualification record from that. So I can definitely see why the Albanian delegation will probably be thinking that they're going to keep the song in their native tongue. It's a gorgeous language. It gives the song an air of mystery. And we saw in 2016 that when it is translated into English, sometimes the lyrics can come across a bit clunky. That's completely hidden when it's kept in Albanian. So I think it gives it as an extra X factor flavor. Obviously, there's more to these qualification records than just the language, but it is a pretty big part of it. 80% versus 25% is a little bit of a no-brainer if you are part of the Albanian delegation. I really like the choral bits that come in twice, halfway and towards the end. The breakdown bit where she kind of almost gets into a little bit of a rap, I like that it's something different in the song. It maybe sounds a little bit off, so I hope that they kind of like tweak that and make it sound a bit more expensive, cooler in a way. I would love to see Albania take some sort of a risk. There's been a real absence of risk for quite a while now. Ranella, I felt was quite risky, and I don't know what happened to that staging. That staging was an absolute disaster. If they kept the Festival Kunga staging, that would have qualified so easily, and for some reason they totally downgraded the staging, and then she barely missed out, and she did qualify with the televote. So it feels like they just tried a small risk and it didn't work immediately, and now it's just back to female power ballads again. So you might say to me, okay, well, that's what the people picked, but, you know, I'm assuming the Albanian delegation has some sort of power or control in deciding what is the format that chooses the song. They've chosen this method that you have the jury winner of Festival Kungas and then the Eurovision winner. I think it's the only national final that does that. No other national final has these like 2 separate winners. Plus, is there any other national final that only chooses their winner through a national televote? That seems so odd to me. There's no international jury, there's no international televote. Why are you getting only people from your own country to pick the song when they are technically the only people who can't vote for it? We know that Albanian diaspora is pretty active and will support their song, but I really feel like the Albanian delegation should have been pushing to get an international jury in. Even if that jury doesn't affect the result, you can have a jury come in and give out points and the points don't count for anything. They can be like advice points and then the people vote. This is a song we want to send to Eurovision. My point is, I don't see any long-term strategy from the Albanian delegation whatsoever. maybe their hands are tied, maybe they can't do anything, but Albania is not going to get their win with this current pattern that they have. Okay, with that in mind, let's have a look at Albania's results over the last 10 years. So out of the 44 countries who've competed in the last 10 years, they are 35th, so that's pretty low. They've actually been not too bad in the last 5 years. You see those 4 white numbers in the last 5 years are all qualifications, but generally they tend to qualify and then be pretty low down in the table. Now, 2 of those years they were drawn second in the running order, but I think the reason they were chosen second in the running order is because the songs weren't big favorites. If you're a big favorite, you don't get drawn second. That is the risk involved in sending a safe power ballad. You'll probably qualify, you'll probably do pretty well with the juries, but at the end of the day, if they need to kind of kill a song to buffer between 2 bigger songs, they'll probably use your power ballad. In terms of momentum, it looked like Albania were doing better. You know, you look at these 5 years versus between 2013 and 2017, and there is an improvement there. There's more qualifications. But in terms of like an actual strategy to get them up to the top, I still don't see it. I think Festival Kungas needs an international jury, an international televote, definitely not just Albanian televote alone. There's still some allegations of corruption going on as well. Whether those are based in reality or not, I don't know. But if the perception is there, that's also going to push away some of the talent because they're not going to want to enter contests that they think is corrupt. So an example of taking a risk would be sending someone like Mal, who won the jury vote. Now, I'm not saying he's got a better song at all, but that is sending something that's a little bit different. It's a little bit of experimentation, sending someone who's just a very different vibe with a kind of unusual song and seeing how that does. Another example of a risk entry would have been the song from Luan. So if you don't recognize him, that's because he was eliminated in the semi-final by a small panel of jurors who unilaterally decided that he would not make the final, despite the fact that the final was very large, 22 acts, definitely space for another person. Luan was quite divisive. Some people loved his song, some people hated it. Definitely an interesting act though, a different viewpoint I felt very much should have been in that final. But Festival Kungas, with this quite outdated system of allowing a very small amount of people to just eliminate him without having to give any justification whatsoever, I don't think that sends the message that if you are an interesting or upcoming artist, that you will definitely get a fair shot at making the final of Festival Kungas. So technically all the semi-final eliminated artists were still eligible to win the televote and go to Eurovision, but realistically someone who's not going to be even shown in the final is hardly going to win the televote. So he could have technically won, but by being eliminated by the jury, he was essentially eliminated from contention. So although I don't prefer Mal's song, I think if that had been the song that went to Eurovision, that would excite me more. It's like, oh wow, I'm interested to see what happens to Albania this year. Whereas this year, at this point in time, before the revamp, I'm just kind of like, this is Albania doing the same thing once again. It's probably going to qualify just by a little bit. If it qualifies, it's probably going to come 9th or 10th again, and then it'll probably become bottom 8 in the final. And another way to show this kind of lack of impact is to look at their semi-final results. So if we look at the last 6 years, Albania's jury and televote split. In the jury, they've qualified 2 times, coming 3rd and 8th. 2018 with Eugene Bush Pepper, jury saved him in that case because he didn't go through on the televote. And 8th in 2021, that's Angela Perestini, and she was also saved by the jury because that didn't go through in the televote. And then looking at the televote results, you can see 12th, 11th, 9th, 11th, 9th, 9th. So there's just a lot of kind of just barely scraping in by the televote. Overall 3 out of 6. Obviously we didn't have any jury last year. Okay, so what strategy do I think Albania should go for? So definitely do a revamp. They need to weigh up whether keeping it Albanian gives it an extra bit of like mystery and intrigue, or whether they could make more of a connection with the people at home if it's in English. The song is a revamp, yeah, just I don't know, just make it more risky or interesting. Clean up the breakdowns. I like the breakdowns because they make it less of a standard power ballad. It adds in something a little bit new, but just make them sound a little bit more professional and well produced. Definitely some good news for the revamp is that Darko Dimitrov is one of the producers on this song. He's had many Eurovision entries and recently just composed North Macedonia's junior Eurovision entry, which was absolutely gorgeous. So I'm definitely hoping that Darko is part of the revamp and he adds in some of his magic. He's beautiful in doing Balkan orchestral arrangements, so I'm hoping he can bring a bit of a magic Balkan ballad flurry to some parts of the song. Maybe they might put the rap part into English and the rest in Albanian. So I'm optimistic that if Darko does continue to work with him on the revamp, that this song will get better. Staging wise, I really liked her costume from the first semi-final. I thought that looked really fun. She was dressed as like a kind of Amazon warrior with quite prominent nipples. I've preferred that over sexy Statue of Liberty. Maybe take the first semi-final concept and just elevate it a lot, so make that look even more beautiful, maybe like a really cool headdress, make the bodice look even more expensive. So take that idea and run with it and dump the Statue of Liberty one. Yeah, and I think if they elevate it in all those ways, I think this can qualify. I think it'll probably be a borderline qualifier, similar to all those results I just showed you, where they kind of come 8th, 9th, 10th, and then in the final it'll come 19th to 26th. I don't see how this could be massively transformed. Who knows? Maybe they could do something really cool, but based on Albania's pattern, they aren't really notorious for doing a massive transformation. I assume Sacha Jean-Baptiste will be working them again, and we'll get some red and black staging, which will look cool because red and black does look really cool together. But long term, I think Albania needs to make some changes if they actually want to be competitive and not just qualify come 21st. Cleaning up Festival Kungas, get rid of this perception of it being corrupt. The best way to do that is to make it less corrupt. Bring in an international jury and an international televote, and then I think they can start to develop their path to getting their first top 10 since Suis 2012 when they came 5th. That should have been higher, in fairness. That song was incredible. Very risky, very daring, very new and original. That's the Albania I want to see in Eurovision, not female ballad number 522. Okay, so that's what I thought about Albania's song for Eurovision 2024. Leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. Which outfit did you prefer? Do you think that you should keep it in Albanian or English? Do you think this can qualify? Is it going to do anything in the final whatsoever? Let me know in the comment section down below. No new donations, but you can support the channel on Buy Me a Coffee, PayPal, and Super Thanks. I'll leave links for you in the description. Thank you to all my patrons for patronizing me from all over the world. I wish everyone a very happy holidays. On my Patreon, you can see copyright-free versions of my reactions, some sneak peeks of what's coming up, and a couple of bonus videos as well. So go check that out if you're a fan of the channel. But thank you so much just for watching, and I hope to see you on another Eurovision reaction video very soon. Goodbye.